have been out on the campaign. I'm one of the national chairs of the Catholics for Trump. So I've been all over Pennsylvania and Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota for the last couple of weeks. And all I can tell you is it's going to be extraordinarily close. It just is. By any measure, things are going to be very, very tight on Election Day. Take the polls, the headline polls that you see, David, in the news and throw them away. When you actually look at the polls, which I've done, you'll see one poll, for example, in Arizona that might have Joe Biden winning amongst registered voters and then President Trump winning amongst likely voters. I happen to like the likely voters better than the registered, but anytime things are that close, it's going to be a tight race into the election night and possibly beyond. I think in 2016, you saw people who didn't know the president very well and might have not been comfortable. Maybe they were a little embarrassed by voting for President Trump. Now they're afraid to tell people they're voting for President Trump. I have friends of mine, family actually, who live in Minnesota, and they're afraid to put a Trump sign in their front yard because of fear of vandalism. That's real. That kind of fear is real, and that's the type of thing that doesn't translate through into polls. So the energy levels are extraordinarily high, and yes, I would think even higher than they were in 2016. I think it's fair to assume that the press and the Biden campaign together are trying to make it look a lot worse than it is in order to try and make the president look bad. They're trying to make the election about COVID instead of about what the world likes after COVID, because if people sit down and say to themselves, well, this will be over soon, whether or not it's because of vaccine or a therapeutic or whatever, then we're going to get back to talking about the economy. And we all know that Donald Trump is better on the economy than Joe Biden. So I think the Biden team, along with the media, is heavily invested in trying to make COVID the issue and to make it look as bad as it possibly can. Keep in mind, there's a reason you're hearing about numbers of cases and not numbers of deaths. It's because numbers of cases are going up and the death rate looks to be going down.